What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys, doing a little update on the Nissan Frontier. This is the 2023 S King Cab 4-wheel drive. So this is a quick update that I'm going to go over for you Nissan Frontier owners. Maybe you guys are having the same issue. This truck now has 23,802 miles, and the transmission on this truck was replaced at 22,000 miles. So I've been having an issue where the transmission slips on this truck only in the cold weather. If you cold start it and you don't let this truck idle for 7 minutes after it's been sitting for a day, the transmission will slip, which I think I might have a video showing the old transmission slipping, but now the new transmission is slipping. So anyway, I took it to Nissan, and this is the first time I took it to Nissan. And yeah, says I stated the transmission is slipping mostly when cold. Customer concern was able to duplicate. Upon cold starts, vehicle does slip after cold starts and 10 minutes after warming the vehicle up. They said that they recommended and performed a TCM reprogram is what they did. And it says it looks like they just did a multi-point inspection. And yeah, they gave me a rental car for that. So that was the first time I dropped this truck off. They really just gave the truck a TCM update. Not sure which update they gave it, because there wasn't really an update out on this truck. But that's what they did, which I did notice. It stopped slipping for a while after this update, but it instantly, like a week later, started slipping. And it kind of feels like they detuned it. The truck kind of seemed to be, it felt like it was detuned. Didn't have like as much acceleration as it did before. Anyway, it started slipping, so I took it back. And this is what they came up with. They stated that it wouldn't accelerate. They said that it wouldn't accelerate and had a loss of power, but the transmission was just slipping. So they told me that they would replace the transmission in this truck and replace it with a brand new one. And I said, well, is it going to be remanufactured? And they told me no, it's going to be brand new. So yeah, they replaced it. And of course, I looked at the paperwork, and right here it says, if the camera can focus, yeah, it says that they installed a Reman transmission in this truck. And then this is the rest of the stuff they replaced. The gasket, I'm guessing the exhaust gasket, flex propeller shaft, nut, not sure what that is. Was that just a nut replace, bolt? Who knows? That's part number. But yeah, all this stuff was replaced. Which is cool. I mean, it's got new transmission fluid, so I don't have to pay to do that, because this truck was coming up on 30,000 miles, and I was gonna have to do that anyway. And then right here, this right here, Nissan long life coolant. Yeah, So after I got this truck back, I conveniently drove this truck on the highway because I went to go buy a vehicle that was like 2.5 hours away. It was just it was a flip vehicle that I was going to buy to resell, which I already sold. It was a RT Challenger. But anyway, off topic. This right here, they added coolant to my truck, and what they did was they left my radiator cap off. I was driving this truck around for about 4 days with the radiator cap loose. So number one, this truck did not have pressure on the cooling system for about 4 days. I drove it around, and then the day I took it to drive, not out of state, but out of town. It wasn't in this town. I took it. It was a 2-hour drive out of town, and my radiator cap just flew off, and I lost all my coolant on the highway. Luckily, I noticed, so the truck didn't overheat. But that right there just pissed me off. You know, if they couldn't tighten my radiator cap, then I can only imagine they probably just slapped this transmission together. They probably just slapped it in my truck and just sent it on down the road. So yeah, that pisses me off that, number one, my truck ran out of coolant on the highway and left me stranded because it was 11 o'clock at night. So I just had to leave this truck on the side of the highway, which was annoying. But yeah, so anyway, so my new transmission also slips. If I don't let this truck sit and idle for 10 minutes, the transmission slips. Does the exact same thing. And I think that was for something else I complained about. I think under the brake pedal, the brake master cylinder was leaking brake fluid. And yeah, that was it. So anyway, it was all free. The transmission replacement, everything was covered under warranty. I believe a new transmission for this truck is like $6,000, $6,000. That kind of sucks that they told me it would be a brand new transmission and not reman, but they put a reman in there. So who knows if this transmission actually came from Nissan, because this only took them like 5 days. And that's with ordering the transmission. It only took them 5 days to slap a new transmission in this truck and give it back to me. Anyway, so you Nissan Frontier owners, comment down below and let me know if you guys have an issue in the cold weather where your transmission starts to slip when you take off. Now this transmission, this newer one, it's not as bad as the original one. This transmission will slip for about a minute when driving, and then the RPMs will go back down and it will shift crisp and perfectly normal after about a minute of driving around. The old transmission, it would slip for like 3 minutes when driving around. It would slip a lot longer than this new one. But comment down below if you guys are having this issue. And, you know, is Nissan going to start replacing these transmissions? And, you know, could that be a fix? Obviously, replacing the transmission on this truck did not fix the issue. I've heard that this is common on the Tacomas too, where they slip if you don't let them warm up too. But I wonder what Nissan's going to do about this. Are they going to come out with a recall? Is there going to be a fix to this? I'm not sure, but apparently replacing the transmission doesn't fix the issue. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.